At sunrise.
Searching through the ashes, crews are looking for more victims of the California wildfires as the number of people missing has doubled to more than 600.
And breaking overnight, a suspect is in custody after a deadly crash in North Portland scattered debris across the street.
Portland's mayor is hinting that he may only serve one term in office. So the question we're asking you this morning, do you think he should run again? We want to hear from you in this morning's viewer voice poll.
And tainted turkeys. There's a new warning this morning linking salmonella to the Thanksgiving favorite.
Plus, in a new segment this morning, Rod is on the job. He's returning to actually one of his first jobs.
It comes up by itself.
Yeah. Rod is getting a lesson in how things have changed at McDonald's.
And we have a big show this morning because we also have this, the finale in our week-long series highlighting some of your favorite Thanksgiving recipes. This is a one-of-a-kind homemade pie from a viewer named Paul who lives in Northeast Portland. It's Pie Day, Lacey.
Oh, I love Pie Day and I love Friday. And you should too if you're out on the roads this morning. You can see all of our freeways, speed limit drive, no delays out there. This is I-5 southbound right here at Mill Plain. You can see a little brake tapping as you make your way down to the Interstate Bridge, but otherwise it's kind of Friday light so far this morning. We're not doing too bad.
Good. Okay.
You mentioned it's Friday. I said it's Pie Day. Yes. Rod Hill, this is your day, my friend.
Yes. Yes, it is. and it's weather day because, you know, we always have weather, right? All right, a pretty good day coming up for you. Don't have any problems out there this morning. Good visibility coming into the city. Some of you are in the 30s, but most of us are 40 or better at this hour. The airport's been reporting a little bit of mist out along the Columbia River, but basically we're dry. We'll be 52 at noon as we start to see increasing sunshine and then go as warm as 56 degrees. Of course, we'll be talking about your weekend, which still features this. This is tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. The East Gorge wind machine back in full motion. We'll talk about that shortly.
All right, Rod, thanks a lot. At 6:02, we have breaking news from overnight. Traffic is moving once again on North Willamette Boulevard after a deadly crash. The crash happened right around 11 o'clock last night. Police think the driver of a red Volvo crashed into several parked cars before hitting and killing a pedestrian. They say the victim was collecting bottles and cans right before he was hit. The driver is now in custody, and investigators think he was both speeding and intoxicated.
We go now to Northern California, where there are now 63 people confirmed dead in the Camp Fire. Adding to that, an astonishing 600 people unaccounted for. That is hundreds more than first reported missing. The fire just wiped out the town of Paradise. Now the mission is even more somber, a search to find human remains. The fire whipped through the town with little warning, and many may not have been able to outrun the fire. To the south, firefighters are struggling to get control of the Woolsey fire. This morning, it's 62% contained. Another fire erupted in Ventura County, but moved slowly. This one's almost contained. President Trump will visit California tomorrow.
Closer to home, a Vancouver boy is doing his part to help the victims of the California wildfires. 12-year-old Max Coons is raking leaves and doing other chores for friends and family. In return, he's asking for donations for those affected by the fires. So far, he's raised about $165. Max plans to give the money to Dutch Bros Coffee. The company is pledging to double all donations for fire victims through Monday.
It makes me feel really happy and good about myself that I'm helping the animals and people down there in California.
Max's mom says she told both her kids about the fire, not to scare them, but so that they could think beyond themselves.
Well, it looks like it worked, Christine. Here we have another story to follow up on involving the California wildfires. The Oregon Humane Society is helping overwhelmed shelters, that is, in California. 25 cats from the northern part of the state will arrive here today. They're going to be up for adoption, though, early next week. So the cats were in shelters there in California before those fires started, and moving them here allows room to be made for animals that now need a place to stay. Meanwhile, an Oregon couple is lending a helping hand with some of the bigger animals affected by those fires. Pat and Nikki James own Outlaw Equine Transport and More in Boring. They're driving truckloads of animal feed, medicine, and other supplies to those bigger animals in California. So you can help out as well. Right now, you can donate to the Red Cross. We're teaming up with the organization to raise money for victims of the California wildfires. Your donations will provide food and shelter for evacuees who have lost everything. Donate right now at kgw.com.
Well, the Red Cross is helping a family in Northeast Portland after their home caught fire overnight. You can see, look at that yellow glow of the fire through broken windows. Fire crews responded to the scene near 117th and Brazy Street around 1 o'clock. We're told 6 adults and 2 kids live in the home, but they're all okay.
It is 6:05 rather, time for your morning rush. It looks like the effort to protect the Russia investigation may get some Republican support. Congress is considering a law to prevent President Trump from firing Russia special counsel Robert Mueller. Republican Senator Jeff Flake supports the move. Democrats want to add the Protect Mueller provision to the budget that must pass by December 7th to avoid a partial government shutdown. Russian President Vladimir Putin says he has talked to Vice President Mike Pence about Washington's plans to exit the Intermediate-Range Nuclear Forces Arms Treaty. The two met at a summit in Singapore yesterday. Washington believes Moscow is developing and has deployed a ground-launched system which violates the treaty. Russia has denied the allegations. North Korea says leader Kim Jong-un has observed the successful test of a, quote, newly developed high-tech tactical weapon. The report today from state media didn't say what sort of weapon it was, although it didn't appear to be a nuclear or missile-related test. North Korea said the test took place at the Academy of National Defense Science and that it was a success. A former Alabama state trooper is accused of shooting a district attorney there in the face on Thursday. DA Greg Griggers was returning from lunch with some officers when former trooper Steve Smith allegedly shot through his car window. A police officer shot and killed the suspect on site. The district attorney is expected to make a full recovery. A motive in the shooting has not been released. And a massive snowstorm swept through the eastern part of the country overnight. CNN is reporting at least 8 people have died with 300,000 without power. Most of those deaths are in the Midwest, caused by traffic crashes. This morning, many cities are seeing traffic at a standstill with roads either frozen or blanketed in snow. And that is your morning rush.
At 6:07, it's now time for your morning talker. We want to know if you think Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler should run for a second term.
Yeah, yesterday, Mayor Wheeler seemed to hint that he may only be a one-term mayor. This happened while he was giving a keynote speech on homelessness. Take a listen.
If I don't serve more than 2 years beyond today, it will be on this question. How do we maintain the rights and the dignity of people living on our streets and balance that with the rights of others in the community?
Well, during that speech, a guy in the audience repeatedly interrupted him. After multiple outbursts from the man, the mayor addressed him directly.
And the vast majority of times, that's what happens. Do you want to give the speech and I'll be on the reactor panel?
You're not telling the truth.
I am telling the truth, and you will have other people here who actually do this work who will tell you what they do.
An Oregonian reporter tweeted that as the mayor walked off the stage, he muttered something like he couldn't wait for the next 24 months to be over, referencing the end of his term. The mayor responded with a statement saying that he will decide whether to run for re-election sometime next year.